Hey peeps, Mortal Assassin here, and today we're back with another Borderlands video. This one's actually going to be a little bit different. This is a reaction video to MoistCr1TiKaL's He's Still a Clown video on Randy Pitchford. So, I know you guys probably already saw the tweet. If you haven't, he's going to be going over it here. I haven't watched this yet. I just wanted to get his point of view and see if there's anything that maybe I haven't thought about. And we're just going to react and stuff like that, see what this is all about. Maybe get a little more information that maybe I haven't found yet on this.
He's going to a level far beyond what we thought was possible. Randy Pitchford is goober maxing right now. He's the CEO of Gearbox, the studio behind Borderlands, and his take on Borderlands.
So this is the tweet here. Not my call. If you're a real fan, you'll find a way to make it happen. My local game store, well, he already says it, but had Starflight for Sega Genesis for $80 in 1991. I mean, yes, that is fair to say because game prices have been $60 for so long. I don't know exactly why this game was $80. I assume it was like a higher edition or something like that. Because, you know, there's games that you can buy nowadays that are $100, but that's not the base game. We had $60 games with like $100 deluxe, digital deluxe packages, stuff like that. So I assume this was something around the same idea. But this is in response to a tweet from a player that is looking to not have to spend some more money on a game, you know? Especially when we just got games put up to 70 not that long ago. Going up to 80 so quickly just feels like too much for gamers, I feel like. And I don't blame them. I don't blame people. I don't.
For potential prices, leaving a sour taste in a lot of people's mouths. Someone said, Randy, this game better not be $80. Don't take that risk. Randy responded by saying, A, not my call. B, if you're a real fan, you'll find a way to make it happen. My local game store had Starflight for Sega Genesis for $80 in 1991 when I was just out of high school working minimum wage at an ice cream parlor in Pismo Beach, and I found a way to make it happen. Pismo? More like piss mode. Randy's going freaky style on this guy right now for no reason. He's like telling an old war story here, starting to sound like Lou Pickles from Rugrats.
Yeah, so with this tweet and the controversy and everything like that, I think this is actually going to help them push it back down to 70. I would think if I'm Take-Two or Gearbox Publishing or whatever, whoever gets to make this price, if I'm seeing this, I'm like, okay, this is not a great look. We need to put the price down now. I feel like if we put it down to 70, people will actually be happy with that, you know? Because we already have it at 70 for a lot of base games nowadays, which, you know, no one wants to pay more. But in the case that we do, no one wants to pay an extra $10 on top of that. And you gotta remember, Borderlands is a game that always comes out with DLC. There's skin packs usually, stuff like that. Little story mission packs you can get. So that will add to the budget of the game. Or sorry, not the budget, the gross income for the game in the long term as well.
I had to walk 15 miles uphill in the snow with only $80 in my fist so I could play Starflight on the Sega fucking Genesis. Who are you? If you were a real fan of Borderlands, you wouldn't be poor in the first place. If you were a real fan of Borderlands, you would spend $80 on this game, no questions asked. Now, obviously, this has ruffled a lot of feathers. In classic Randy fashion, he is the worst thing for his games. They really need to keep this guy in cryo sleep. It is brutal anytime Randy gets the stage, like a little bit of limelight here. He somehow finds a way to deflate everything about what he's talking about. Now, there's also a video clip that came out today where he once again mentions the price. Worth noting, it's not confirmed that Borderlands 4 is going to be $80, but even still, his attitude here about...
Yeah, I think that's the issue. People don't mind if he doesn't know. I think it was really cool. He just said there was a clip. Hold on. Can I see? Yeah, okay, it's right there. Well, I'll talk about it once we get to it right there.
Find a way to put that in their budget. Make room for Borderlands 4 in their life, that is, if they are a real fan and actually have money. Everyone knows Borderlands fans have to have money, otherwise you're not a real fan. So it should be a non-issue if we do decide to make it $80. Like, that's the way it's perceived with what he's saying here. It's just super douchey, and it's really tone deaf, because right now a lot of people are really upset with the pricing of these games going forward, with Nintendo and Microsoft announcing the $80 price tag, looking like it's going to be the norm.
Randy, I got a tough one for you here.
Oh, you got a spicy one for me?
I don't know the answer. I don't know.
Why is it always me that has to do the spicy ones? All right.
What will the game's price be? That's an interesting one. I don't know this.
Really now?
So I'll say this right now. I'm assuming they're not going to show the whole clip, but there were some pretty hard-hitting questions during this PAX East panel that they had for Borderlands 4. I thought they actually did some great answers here. Like the answer he says here, I thought was great.
I'll tell you the truth. I don't know.
He says he doesn't know what the price will be. There's a lot of factors that go into it, and he starts to explain what it looks like from their perspective of everything that's going into it and how the budget is significantly higher, this and that. So as of right now, he can't give like a solid answer on exactly what the set price is going to be.
We've got a competitive marketplace where people want to, or the people that make those choices want to sell as many units as possible, and they want to be careful about people that are price sensitive. So there's some folks that don't want to see prices go up, even the ones deciding what the prices are. There's other folks accepting the reality that game budgets are increasing and there's tariffs for the retail packaging, and like it's getting gnarly out there, you guys. Borderlands 4 has more than twice the development budget.
Basically just saying there's a lot more money that's going into developing this title, and a lot more factors at play that make it difficult to say exactly what the price is going to be. There's some people internally that don't want to see the price go up, while others are accepting the reality that it might have to. So he doesn't have a straightforward answer at the moment for the price point, but he does say something very interesting about how Borderlands 4 budget is more than twice the budget for Borderlands 3. That's a bad thing. I don't understand. Like,
what?
Okay. I've talked about this a lot.
Okay, hold on. I disagree with this take already. I don't... Obviously, game budgets are going crazy. Like, we just heard that from the Take-Two CEO that GTA 6 budget was $1 billion. I don't know exactly what it was. It was like $1 billion and probably some change, obviously. But you got to remember, more budget doesn't just mean it's a larger game. It helps with more people working, so you can get a game out faster. Maybe if the budget was half, you're gonna have to wait another 5-6 years for the game because you don't have as many people working on it, or maybe you do get the game out but it's not as high quality as you want. People do like to see changes go up with improvements. So with like Borderlands 2 to Borderlands 3, we went from just Pandora to multiple planets. Now with Borderlands 4, they're going back to one planet. So with them saying this budget is huge, there's gonna be some crazy stuff going on this one planet if the budget is double of Borderlands 3.
A lot now for years. These budgets are getting so bloated and so inflated. These games are set up for failure because it is so expensive to make them that the amount they would have to sell is completely unreasonable in a lot of cases. The budget for Borderlands 3 was over $100 million. I think it was like $140 million. If this is more than twice that budget, we're looking at a $300 million game, like, to develop. That's crazy. And this trend can't continue where the budget for every new game has to keep doubling. Eventually, something's got to give.
I don't think it's about doubling. I don't think they were in the boardroom trying to be like, oh, we have to double our budget for Borderlands 4. I think they wanted to expand upon it, and it just took that much money. Like, it takes time. It takes a lot of people to work on these things. It's not an easy industry at all. Yeah.
And in a lot of cases, that increased budget doesn't mean an increase in quality. Usually, I'm not even going to say usually, but sometimes it will often result in a worse game because then they get afraid with how much money is invested to take any risks. So instead they stick to the same formula that people are kind of tired of and fatigued with, like Ubisoft.
Okay, I'll agree with that. I do think from the 20-minute video we saw of the Borderlands 4 video on the PlayStation channel, I forgot what it was called, but 20-minute breakdown video of Borderlands 4 with some abilities, mobility, gameplay, which was really good. Not everything was great news, but I do think the standing ground of the gunplay, the Vault Hunters was really good, and the skill trees. I think that's what people care most about. Stuff like the mini-map being gone, stuff like that isn't super core to the gameplay. Of course, it still is, but I think people will get used to the compass system. So I do think they are making good improvements to the game. I'm really excited for it. I think even Borderlands 3, the best gunplay in my opinion of any Borderlands game. Even without the story, just that alone, I love just hopping in and playing it just for that gunplay, just to shoot things.
Ubisoft, for example, those budgets are huge, but the games don't change that much. They're very similar to one another, which is why so many people over the years have gotten really tired of the Ubisoft formula, even though the budgets are increasing. So it's not like a higher budget guarantees a better game, and in some cases it sometimes just means a worse game, because they're now too afraid and too risk averse. So it is concerning to see or hear that this budget is already double Borderlands 3. I think that there's probably no world where this is a sub.
Yeah, that is a good point. If it's already double, and I'm assuming, I don't know where they are on DLCs right now because the main game's not even out, but I assume they have ideas, but maybe they're working on DLC 1 and 2 maybe. I doubt they're already working on 3 and 4, and who knows, they're planning, they could be planning on coming out with more Vault Hunters, DLC Vault Hunters, so that budget will cost a lot more than just making skill trees for sure.
$80 title. Microsoft and Nintendo are already setting that pace. He does also make a mention like Microsoft and Nintendo are, kind of solidifying the $80 price tag, but we're not sure if we're going to follow that ourselves yet or if we're going to keep it at the same price we've been. We don't know. So it is not fully sure what the price point for Borderlands 4 will be. What is sure, though, is Randy Pitchford looked like a huge insufferable douchebag when he told people that real fans will make a way to buy it regardless, no matter what, come hell or high water.
Yeah.
That immediately ruins a ton of hype, and this is...
Yeah, I do think there are people that will see that $80 price tag or the $79.99 when they go in the GameStop, and maybe they just don't have enough. Or, people will just be like, I'll wait for it to go on sale, maybe for a 15% off sale now. And then maybe they will get it, maybe they'll forget about it, maybe they'll be playing other games. Getting all this hype up for the game around that September release date is great, but when you have stuff like this happening, it can be kind of lackluster and not help the game that much.
This is a strategy that has a worse record than the 2017 Cleveland Browns. This is always a fucking miss whenever you have someone like Randy Pitchford coming out there and saying, well, if you're a real fan, you're going to buy it no matter what. In fact, you need to. Like, making that insinuation, it's just a horrible look. So, obviously people have been pretty upset with him, but I want to be clear, I've been making fun of this guy for years. But for a long time, actually.
Yeah, I do remember.
A lot of people don't remember that a while
Okay,
back,
he's going to talk about it.
USB stick of porn at the medieval times. So, he brought a USB stick of porn to the medieval times, and somehow it just got left behind, and then when it was recovered, there's like cam girl squirting porn on it, and then Randy went on a podcast to defend it, saying that like he downloaded this squirting porn because he knew it had to be a magic trick, and he was studying how she was getting so much fluid out of her pussy.
Cam girl pornography. Have you ever watched? Do you know what cam girl pornography is?
Is that the interactive one?
And this one is just like I can't quite make sense of what the little thumbnail image is, so I'm looking into it, and it's a woman who is masturbating, and when she has some experience that appears as if she's having an orgasm, a huge amount of fluid comes out of her vagina. She has some kind of an explosive orgasm.
Hey, Jay.
This is not a sex worker. This is a fucking magician. And so I purchased one of her videos. I wanted to watch this.
You wanted to work out the method.
I wanted to work out the method, but it was late, so I copied over this memory stick.
Why? Why would anyone ever...
Yeah, so this isn't really the game development stuff I was looking for, but we'll finish off the video here.
Like, this whole story is already peculiar and weird, but that last little nugget is such a head scratcher. So you purchased one of this cam girl's videos where she's squirting at you, and you were so mystified by it that you believed that she wasn't even a porn star, she was a magician, and you wanted to figure out how she performed the trick. So you download it, and I guess you're putting it up on the big screen like the Jumbotron as you're hyper-analyzing it, but why would you ever copy it to a fucking memory stick and take it with you places? Like, where are you bringing it? Why do you need access to that on the go? You taking it to a forensic laboratory to get the experts on the case or something? Like, why would you ever even lug that around with you to a medieval times in the first place? It just doesn't make any sense, unless you had, like, scheduled a meeting with Merlin the Wizard at the fucking medieval times or something to get the Council of Wizards on the case here to figure out how she was erupting with squirt fluid, with squirt juice. Like, what in the fuck? I know this has absolutely nothing to do with what we're talking about today, but I couldn't miss this opportunity to drop this little tidbit of lore on your lap.
Pretty
here,
off
like
topic, but it is a little silly.
Nut. Like, it is so baffling. Anyway, though, yes, Randy Pitchford once again made a fool of himself with the whole Borderlands 4 price take that he gave there. That was a big blunder. And, yeah, anyway, that's really about it. So, yeah.
Alright, well, I think that alone right there just sums it all up. My personal opinion, I don't like the games going up to 80 this fast. Even when I was younger, I felt like 60 was so much. You know, being a kid. For kids nowadays, that's $20 extra. That's, you know, that can be someone's, like, you know, lunch or dinner, you know? Like, $20 extra. I'm still thinking of games being 60. I know they're already at 70 now, but I still think of games as 60. We're seeing a lot of games come out that are even $50 now, that are really good bang for the buck, and I gotta appreciate that a lot. And of course, indie games, you can't beat indie games. But yeah, I do not see this gonna be 80, just in my opinion, from the controversy. Because if this came out as the controversy and then they do it on top of that, it's kind of like a double misstep. So maybe, like, to get it back down, they put it to 70, and then people are happy again. That's how I would see it, in my opinion. If I was them, I'd be like, we're sticking to 70 now. Maybe we could have waited out 80 in a month or two, if that's when pre-orders came out. But now I feel like they would just have to go back down to 70. That's just my opinion, though, guys. Let me know what you guys think about in the comments. And yeah, drop a like, and you know what to do. Hit that sub button. Peace.